Right, hi everyone. My name is Victor Luber. Actually, Victor Luber is my stage name. I'm keeping my real name a closely guarded secret to protect myself from any cancellation issues. I've got a feeling you'll all understand why pretty soon. Let's just say I've earned myself a reputation for being a little bit problematic. So doing comedy is my latest midlife crisis activity. My former one, which is still ongoing, is my quest to become an amateur guitarist. I don't seem to be able to crack the whole guitar thing, but I'm trying not to fret about it. It's all well and good playing dad rock, but if you don't even have any kids, I mean, there's really no excuse. Now, you'll all be forgiven for assuming that I'm just a regular cisgender guy, but don't be fooled by appearances. I actually identify as double trans, as in trans, by which I mean I identify as a trans woman who identifies as a trans man. The end result being that I just look like a regular bloke. As such, my pronouns are she, he, her, him. Now, after I came out as being double trans, strangely enough, I got a lot of pushback for that from some really bigoted people on Twitter, but I didn't let that stop me. Instead, I decided to double down on that, and so I began to identify as quadruple trans. As in, I identified as a trans woman who identified as a trans man, who identified as a trans woman, who identified as a trans man. I had to give that up in the end, though. I mean, it just got way too confusing from a pronouns point of view. Now, has anyone here been using Tinder lately? Well, no one is prepared to admit it, obviously. I had a go at Tinder last summer. It did not go spectacularly well. A friend of mine suggested that maybe I was being unrealistic in terms of the kind of woman that I was looking for. She said that I should raise the upper age limit of my match criteria. Well, I reluctantly agreed to that, so I increased it to 22. But still no luck. I sadly came to the conclusion that I must be the victim of age discrimination. It's pretty bad that age discrimination is obviously still a big problem in the dating world. However, it then later also occurred to me that maybe, in fact, I'm the victim of transphobia. Because as a double trans person, I could be facing twice as much transphobia as a regular trans person. Okay, and you thought Dave Chappelle was bad. You ain't seen nothing yet. So, well, I'm glad to see that we've all survived the COVID pandemic. I was never that worried about COVID on a personal level. I heard that for people under the age of 60, their risk of dying of COVID was less than the risk of dying in a car accident. So I thought to myself, well, I don't even drive, so my risk of dying of COVID must be practically zero. Actually, I wasn't sure it was a good idea to do any jokes about COVID. I mean, after all, making jokes about COVID is pretty tasteless. Anyway, I hope I'm not pushing my luck a bit too much with my comedy material. With comedy, there's a fine line to tread between being edgy on the one hand, but at the same time trying to avoid offence. That said, I don't think people should let offence stop them. I mean, maybe if it's an electric fence. I guess I should just, maybe I should just avoid taking on too many sacred cows. Steer clear of them. But I just can't stop myself milking them for jokes. Well, thank you very much, everybody. I've been Victor Luber. Thank you.
Yay!